Okay, good morning. The recording is started. My name is Coach Balaji. Um, Thank you so much for joining the online chess camp. We tried this last month back. It was really successful. So we are going to have the similar camp today and the next 4 days. So there will be two groups, as you would see. One would be from 9 to 10:30, where you all are part of it. We are going to have another camp from 11 to 12:30 my time. Okay, so what we are going to do today being the first day, all three of you are new to Chess Kids Nation. So we would like to get to know more about you. So you will start with your name, the school you go to, the city you live in, the state you live in, and the grade, what you're studying now, and then something about what you know about in chess. And then we are also having, or we will have Coach Jacob, who's going to be taking the classes for you today. And then I'll also be there. The session is recorded. At the end of the day, we'll be sending you the link to the recording as well as the weekly assignments. I know you're all having some online schools, but it would be really good if you can complete each and every day the assignment. That way it helps us to do our camp the next day. Okay, so I'm going to first open up with Coach Jacob. He's going to introduce himself. Then we are going to ask Ishan, Aryaman, and Raghav to introduce yourself. Okay, at this point of time, you are all muted, but we will unmute you as and when it is needed. Okay.
Hey,
So, Coach
hi.
Jacob, good morning.
Yeah, good
Evening for
morning.
you.
Hi. Yeah, hi, kids. It's nice to see you kids, all young ones, uh, taking interest in doing this camp, right? I would like to make it more interesting and a good learning process through the whole 5 days. Uh, so I've been doing chess. I've been playing chess for a long time. I've been teaching chess for the last 12 years. And I have kids who have just started to learn chess to uh, kids who are becoming an IM. All right. So IM is International Masters with a ELO rating of 2300. All right. So I have kids from different level who are all good chess players, and I would want every one of you to be successful in whatever you do. Right. So that's basically what I want to start off with. I would mute myself now. I would want Ishan to start with and tell more about what he knows about chess, how long he's been playing, plus all about himself.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to unmute all of you. You should also be able to unmute yourself. So we are going to be starting with Ishan. If you can introduce yourself, say where you are from. Raghav, you may have to unmute yourself. I'm not able to unmute you. Perfect. Okay. Ishan, you are going to introduce yourself, and then you're going to tell your full name, the school you go to, the city you live in, or the state you live in, and what you know about chess and why you're excited about this camp.
Hi, my name is Ishan. I live in Madison, Alabama. And
which school you go to? Can you come closer to your laptop, please? I'm not able to. I can hear you, but it is not. Come closer, please.
Okay.
Go ahead. Which school you go to in Madison?
Horizon Elementary.
Okay. It's a very good school. Very good school. I've been there to play some tournaments. Good. Okay. So what is that you know in chess? How long you're playing chess?
I've been playing in tournaments for 2 years now.
Good. Do you have a USCF rating?
Yes.
Awesome. What's your rating, current rating?
810.
Excellent. Great job. So what do you want to become when you grow big? Okay, which grade are you in? I didn't get that.
4th.
4th grade, okay. You're still in elementary school, perfect. So what do you want to do when you grow big?
I don't know.
You don't know? What do your parents want you to become?
I don't know.
Okay, good introduction. Aryaman, we'll go with you next. Aryaman, we can't hear you.
Can you speak up clearly?
Aryaman, we can't hear you. Is it me or nobody can hear him?
I can't hear him. I can't hear him. You just mute yourself.
Okay. Okay, while we are waiting for Aryaman, Raghav, please go ahead.
I am in Pennsylvania, Wayne, PA,
Uh-huh.
and I go to Wayne Elementary School.
Okay.
I'm in first grade,
Okay.
and
Have you played chess before?
yeah,
Perfect. Have you played in any chess tournaments?
yes.
Perfect. Do you have a rating?
No.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. We all have to, every chess player is once a beginner. So it's perfectly fine. You decided to start today, and we'll make sure you learn what you're expected to learn. All we need is make sure that you learn, you're attentive these 5 days. We are going to have a tournament also on Friday. So that way, whatever you learn in the class, whatever you learn in the camp, and whatever assignments you are going to be doing each and every day, you'll be able to put that into use on Friday, okay? Let's see if Aryaman is back. Aryaman, are you back?
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Enable your video, please. Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, so I live in San Jose, California.
Okay.
I am in Dartmouth Middle School and I'm a 7th grader.
Excellent. How long you are playing chess?
For 3 years, but I don't do tournaments.
Okay, that's perfectly
Usually.
fine. It's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Okay, what I'm going to do now is, that's good. That's a very good introduction. Today being the first day, we really want to introduce all of us. And then I'm going to be, you can unmute yourself anytime you want to say something. And then, so I'm going to mute you all, and then so we can enable Coach Jaker. He can start his session. But as I said, you can unmute you all anytime, and then you'll be able to chat with us. And this is being recorded, which means I'll be sending this recording to all of you. So the assignments, what we do, the puzzles, what we do, the positions, what we do, the theory, what we learn is all going to be super useful to you all. You will be able to refer this anytime during your chess life. Okay? Thank you. So I'm going to mute you all. And then we'll ask Coach Jacob to unmute himself. Perfect.
So I hope everybody is able to see the board, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Give me. So sometimes you can give a thumbs up. That way we know for sure you're able to see the board. Okay. Excellent.
So since all of you have played the game and know the game well, all right, I will just start off with some basics. Since I did not know how strong you were, I basically made a lot of things which are quite elementary, but would keep upgrading as I understand how strong you are. All right, so we'll have to start somewhere. So the first thing I would like to do is, we all know basic of chess. Hopefully, I think everybody knows it, right? Chessboard has 64 squares, 8 files, 8 ranks, right? So everybody knows what a rank or a file is, right? And you know what a diagonal is. Good, that's nice. Okay. So can somebody tell me how many diagonals are there on a chessboard?
I'm going to unmute you all so you'll be able to answer him. Okay. Did you all understand the question? Could Jacob, you want to just say one more time? Just
How many diagonals are there on a chessboard? We know there are 8 files, 8 ranks. Can you just count and tell me how many diagonals are there on a chessboard?
Oh.
Hmm?
Oh, 64.
64.
That's 64 squares. How many diagonals? You know what a diagonal is, right?
Oh, diagonal.
A diagonal is a line which goes across the chessboard.
There's 64. And there's 64.
There are 64 squares on a chessboard.
The whole board.
Yeah, the whole board is 64. I want to know how many diagonals are there. Can you just count looking at the screen and then tell me?
Oh. I'd say about 24.
Close. You missed a couple of diagonals. There are 26
30.
diagonals on it. There are 26 diagonals on a chessboard, right? So yeah, so that's something which we generally don't look at, but diagonals are very important
Yeah.
way by which a bishop moves. Yes.
Especially for the
So
king.
okay, so that's basically what it is, right? So there are 8 files, 8 ranks, and 26 diagonals on a chessboard, right? And you all know how pieces move, right?
Yeah.
Nobody has a doubt on that, right? So I'm just going to do a small exercise. This is what I call as the Prashna, right? So you basically do a warm-up exercise before you do something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to so this is what I want you to do. Okay, so the whole exercise is this. I want you to move the queens, all right? Right? I want you to move the queen in a certain pattern that every move the queen captures a piece or a pawn. And at the end of the 5th move, there should only be the queen and the kings on the board, right? So if you know the sequence of what to capture first and then which one and then whatever, all you need to do is type on the chat. You will have a chat screen. You can just click on that chat and then type out your answer to let us know what would be the sequence. I will give you some time to think, but I want you to type it out and let me know what would be the sequence. Every move you need to capture one piece. At the end of the 5th move, there should only be the queen and the 2 kings. Yeah. Black will not reply. It will only be white, right? So just have to write white 5 moves for white, the queen basically, and capture each piece in a move.
Huh? Why do we need to do that when there's a mate in 2?
Yeah, I'm not asking you to do any mate, right? So the whole idea is to basically, this is basically a warm up which I'm doing to make sure that you're able to look in a sequence to see how a piece can move. Right? I know it is a little very easy, right? But still, right? So I would get into tougher things as we go along, but the first half an hour I would want to know how much you know so that I'm starting with something easy, right?
Okay.
And this is anyway not made into. If you have found the answer, you can put it on chat.
You'll all be able to chat. That way we'll be able to see.
Yeah. Has anybody written it on?
Ishan says, I got Ishan says I got first place in Queen's Quest. Congratulations, Ishan. We are very, very, very proud of you. Yeah, Ishan says, are you able to hear me, Coach Jacob?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Okay. Ishan says it is a mate in 2.
Yeah, I know it's a mate in 2. Yeah.
That's also for a have. Let's see if I can make you the perfect.
What about the other 2, Raghav and Ariman?
No, you have not. Raghav and Aryaman, if you know the answer, you will be able to chat, or you can unmute yourself. You can also say whatever that works for you.
I hope both of you understood what you have to do, right? Still one time? Yeah, Raghav, tell me.
First we have to do queen to queen x to e6.
Okay.
And then queen to b6.
Queen to?
b6.
Where is B6?
b6.
No, you have to capture each round, right? So if you capture this, next you have to capture something. You go G4,
Yeah.
and then you go E2, and then you go B5,
5, and then kill
and
that,
then you go B8, and then
you can make a checkmate.
that's right.
Like
Okay,
the obstacle course.
that's right.
There you go.
Ishan found an easy way to do it.
Easy
Yeah,
way.
but the whole idea is to make sure that you understand how the piece can move, right? So the whole idea of doing this exercise is to make sure that you're able to visualize how a piece can move from one square to another.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea. Ariman, you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I
will
did
do
it
another-
differently.
There's only one way to do it. What is the other way?
No, I did a queen to e5 first, and then I took the pawn, and then it's the same.
So the only other thing you can do is maybe start from here, go here, come here, and then do this. This is something you can do.
Okay.
Possible. But yeah. I'm going to do another one.
Coach Jaker,
Yeah.
can you make me the host one more time, please?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm trying to stop the recording.
How do I make you the host?
So you have to click on my name and then make me.
All right. Okay. Got it. I will have to make you a co-host, right?
Yeah, make me the host for now.
Yeah, okay.
I'll flip it back to you. Yeah, I made you the co-host.
Okay, super. Right, fine. So this is the next one, right? Now we have quite a lot of pieces on the board. Same thing. I want you to write down a series of 8 moves by which I want the whole board to be clear. Ishan, you have to wait for some more time.
Found
Because
it.
yeah.
Found it.
Yeah.
Found it.
Found it?
Yes.
Can you just put it on a private chat to Balaji or me?
Okay.
Go to chat and go to private chat and you can just answer either to me or to Balaji, not an issue.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll
That's
take
fine.
the answer. Hmm. Is it correct?
Have you sent it? To whom?
Is it
It
correct?
came to me. It came to me. Ishan
Okay,
has
okay.
already sent it.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for Aryaman and Raghav.
I'm already done. Is it correct? What the answer? It's
Raghav and Aryaman, are you still thinking about it?
Already put mine in the chat.
Just go to chat. Right?
I don't
Just
see
type.
yours. I don't see yours, Raghav or
So
Aryaman.
just go You go to just click on chat, the window will open, you just have to type on it.
Who did you send it to?
I said it to Coach Jaker.
Okay.
Not able to see it.
So, so can I say the answer?
Wait.
You got it, Coach Jacob?
No, I haven't got it.
Okay. It should be,
Not able-
because I don't see it. It should have come to you.
Can I just put it on the open chat, please?
Sure. Raghav, sorry, Aryaman, is it okay if you can send it to me?
Okay.
Raghav, can you?
Raghav, give me a thumbs up if you're still thinking about the position. Perfect. Okay. Want to make sure that. Okay, we got from both Aryaman and Ishan now. Okay.
All right.
So can I? Okay, we have to wait till Raghav finishes.
Can I go ahead, Coach Jacob?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's go with Ishan. Ishan says queen takes b2
Yes.
and then takes b5,
Okay.
takes
Yeah.
e8, then takes h8, then takes h4.
H4. And then how will you take F6? You go H4, how will you take F6?
So after h8, he says h4, f2, f3.
What happened to F6?
Oh, I think he missed it. Okay.
Okay, so F6 and then H4, right? So this is how it goes.
Yeah. So then Aryaman says e8. He started a different way. He said
Okay.
queen takes
I
e8
take
first.
that pawn and then takes the other pawn.
Okay. Yeah, fine.
Well,
E8 and then
e8 to h8, h8 to f6,
he will missing something.
f6 to h4,
Okay, H6 to H4, okay.
and then h4 to f2,
Okay.
f2 to b2, b2 to
Right.
b5.
What happened to F3?
Aryaman, that may not work, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
what
So you were close, yeah, you were close, but so the easy way to do it is not here.
Raghav, you're able to follow, right, Raghav?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So the ideal thing to do is go here, 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 and then just finish everything up. Yeah, I think that's the most easiest way to do. Ishan was there, he just missed F6 and went from H8 to H4, but otherwise the whole idea of root was absolutely right. Okay, so from queens we will go to rook. This should be very easy. I want all of you to answer as I do as quickly as possible. The moment you found it, you can put it on chat.
Got the answer. I'm gonna send it.
Yeah, good. That's nice.
I got it too.
Very good. That's nice. Raghav, you have to start. Try something. Doesn't matter if it's wrong. Try. You know how to write score sheets, right? Raghav? You know how to write, right?
Yeah, let me unmute it. Yeah.
Raghav, you know how to write a score sheet, right? You know how to write a square.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have to write the squares where you would like to move the rook. So write one, whatever, right? So you start with somewhere and then second where you want to go. And then, so you can just keep writing those squares where you want to move.
Now
Try even if it is not correct, doesn't matter, but I want you to try. Right? You get to, only if you, these are the times when you can make mistakes. Learning time is time you can make mistakes. So I want you to try, even if it is wrong, doesn't matter, but keep trying. Yeah, Raghav?
send enter.
Yeah, please. So yeah, Raghav is good, Raghav. Just have to make sure that you write the square name correctly, but yeah. Yeah, Balaji, if you can tell me what the other two have written. Raghav has sent a message to me.
Let's start with Ishan, or we'll start with Aryaman. Oh, no, I only see Ishan's as of now.
Ariman, you haven't sent?
Hmm?
Have you
Yeah, I sent it.
Aryaman?
I have sent it.
To whom?
Coach Balaji.
Okay.
Why I don't see it here?
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, so the answer should be Rook H5, Rook
Yeah.
H8,
That's what I did.
Rook B8,
That
Rook B1, and
Yes.
Rook E1. Yeah?
I did it.
Good, good,
I got it.
good, good,
too.
good.
Good.
Very nice. So we get into interesting stuff now. Right?
Dun, dun. Huh? Mhm.
Yeah, we found it. Just write it down. Put it on chat.
You write it in a paper and then you show it.
Okay. Got the answer.
Wow, that's good.
I'm writing my answer.
Yeah, good.
I just need to do something real quick. I just need to see every single piece on the board.
Good, good, good.
Yeah, nobody has actually acknowledged the kittens I put.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Now.
Hey. No, I can't see the last one.
Hmm.
Last one.
You can type it now.
I can't see the last. I can't see the last pawn.
There,
I can't see the last pawn.
You can type it. Now.
there are 3 pawns and 3 pieces.
Is it on F5?
4. F4.
Okay.
F4, F2, A2 are pawns. G8 bishop. Sorry, G1 bishop, G8 and A8 knight.
Okay. I typed in my answer.
Good.
I'm typing in my answer.
Good. Ishan, you've sent?
Yes.
Cool, that's nice. Aryaman, you've done?
I am sending
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, good, that's nice. That's
To who?
Yeah, done.
Huh.
Just tell me.
yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Cool. Good, Raghav. Balaji, if Aryaman is done, then we can.
I have sent it.
Yeah, cool. So,
So I see Arimon's rook to A2.
rook 2?
A2.
Yes.
Rook A2 will not be right.
No. No. You need to make.
How will rook A2 work?
Yeah, how did how does it work?
Rook A2 doesn't work, Aryaman. You have to go rook G8, rook B8, rook A8, rook
That's what I
A2,
did.
rook F2, and then rook F4. Okay, so
That's what I did.
Me
good,
too.
good.
So,
All right.
Coach
So-
Jacob, you got the
Yeah, I got from Raghav. From
Raghav,
Raghav, I got.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. So the point is this. Okay, so you start with A2, then you will miss one of those. Either the F2 and F4 pawn you will miss out, or all the other 3 pieces you might miss out. Everybody, you did. Okay, so you have to slow down, make sure that you are looking at every possible thing, and that's the idea of doing this puzzle, right? So this is a little tricky one, right? Not too tricky, but a little tricky one. This is with the bishop. I want you to start. Make sure that you pick up all the 7 pieces in 7 moves. Once you're done, you can put it on chat.
Got the answer.
Good, put it on chat.
Okay, I'll put it on chat.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, okay. I'm pretty sure I can do this. I can do this. I can do. Okay. I've sent it.
Yeah, Ishan has sent it.
Is it correct?
I've sent it too.
Aryaman also sent it.
இங்கே போயிட்டு அப்புறம் அப்படி வரும். இல்ல அது ஃபுல்லா இருக்குது முன்னாடி மட்டும் எழுதிக்கோ.
Yeah.
நீ அனுப்பப்பா.
Can you tweet it?
நான் டைப் பண்ணல. You can just show it.
You want me to
Aryaman,
read the answers?
I got the answers.
yeah, can you just send it? Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I have Aryaman and Ishan. Ishan says bishop takes h8
Right.
and then takes b2,
Okay.
a3,
கவனிப்பா.
Okay.
c5,
Yeah.
f2,
Good.
h4,
Yeah.
g5.
Very good. Raghav, you also wrote the same?
Yep.
Aryaman
Good.
says bishop to b2
Okay.
is a different approach, but b2, c3.
You can't go C3, right? You have to go A3. And then you will miss H8.
Or that may, I think that may be a typo. I'm thinking.
Yeah. A3, C5, F2, H4, G5. You will not be able to pick up on H8. So you have to go forward and then come back. Okay. So that's the trick. And
Yes,
that's why I
Aryaman?
said,
Are you able to catch it now?
yeah. So the idea is this, right? So if you have to go by a sequence, the whole idea of doing a sequence is to make sure that you're able to see the piece going to every square. The idea is to make, for me to understand whether you're able to see all the sides of a piece which can move. Right? You can't miss one side of it. There shouldn't be a blind spot. So that's basically the idea. And let's go to the next one. This again is white to play.
You have to type it, அம்மா. இந்த இப்போ எப்படி பார்த்து இப்படியே டைப் பண்ணு.
I got the answer and I sent it.
Good, that's nice.
When are we gonna go over?
As soon as either one of the other two finishes.
Wow.
You know?
The first
My
capture.
second one? What?
Yeah, everyone done?
My second one is the right one. The first one is not right. My second
Okay.
one is.
Okay. Raghav, done?
Why not?
Good. I see Aryaman and I see Shans.
So are you gonna go over it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Or do you have to wait for Raghav to finish?
Raghav is done.
Okay, good. Why does he look then why do I
Okay, so go.
takes? That's obvious.
Okay,
And
then
then
you go.
G2. G2. And
Is
then
it right?
G2. Then C6. Then A4. Then D1. Then H5. Then F7. Then D4.
Yeah. What happened? Why are you crying, Raghav? What happened?
Raghav, talk to
Okay.
us. Raghav,
Raghav, talk to us. What happened?
it's perfectly fine. Don't worry
What
about
happened?
it. We are all
What
beginners.
happened? We all learn, right? Nothing
Yeah.
wrong in getting wrong, right? Nobody's going to give you marks, right?
That's
And I
fine.
did not tell what you wrote. Okay. So nobody knows what you wrote. Yeah. I just gave out the answer. Okay. And it is okay to make mistakes. Everybody's made mistake. You learn only by making mistake, right? So it's sometimes good to make mistakes. So don't worry about it. Sometimes you get it right. Sometimes you get it wrong. Sometimes you don't get it at all, right? Even the greatest players miss a mate in one, right? So I've seen top grandmasters miss mate in one, miss mate in two, right? Somebody missed a mate in three and did not win the world championship, right? So okay, somebody who's playing for a world championship missed a simple mate in three, but yeah, it happens. So don't worry, right? It's all fine, right? Here we are here to learn. So be strong. If you made a mistake, note down what the mistake you made. and then correct yourself. All right, everybody, don't worry. Even when you're playing a game, you would have a position where you're winning completely, but you might just think that everything is winning and make only blunder on the keyboard, end up either doing a stalemate or getting a draw or losing a game. It's all fine. Right? It's only a lesson. Next time you don't make a mistake like that. Right? Everybody's gone through that and everybody's made that mistake. Right? So don't worry. All right. Do the next one. That's it. We got a knight, the jumping horse. Right? So, take your time. I'll give you 5 minutes. Take your time. Think and just keep going round and round. That's it.
Found the answer.
Good.
I entered it.
Good.
I sent my answer.
Yeah, I know. Good.
I sent the message.
Yeah, Raghav done?
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
You want me to read?
Good. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read Aryaman first.
All right.
It says it is actually E4. And then G2.
Here are the squares.
Aryaman, did you send it to me or did you send to Coach JK direct?
I think he sent it to you, Balaji. I haven't seen it.
Because it doesn't see it doesn't correlate with what.
Correct. Okay, what is Ishan done?
Ishan says knight takes F6,
Okay.
takes H5,
Okay.
takes F4,
Good.
takes E2,
Yeah.
takes D4,
Yeah.
F3.
Brilliant. Good.
Excellent, Ishan.
Hey, good. Good. Ariman, I think you got the same thing, right? I don't know. I didn't see yours, so I hope that was the one. All right. Good. Okay. So let's go. All right. So this is basically on the mobility of pieces and how it can go, where it can go, and all of those stuff. All right. So we'll go one step ahead. All right. We all play games, right? This is all about the first phase, which is called the opening, and then you got something called a middle game, and then the most important of the whole lot is the end game. So you need to understand that you need to know how to open the game. So opening plays a key part. Middle game is where your originality comes in. Whatever your hard work is basically seen in the middle game. So opening is called preparation. You're not supposed to. What we generally do here is we just read and memorize the whole opening lines. Like if I'm going to play a Geico, I will say E4, E5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, c3, knight f6. All these I will memorize and I'll just keep playing, irrespective of what my opponent does. And I will have no idea why I'm doing something. Just because it is there, somebody's played it, or this is what everybody does, I just play it. Right? You can do it when you start to play a game, but at some point you need to understand that that's not how it works. Right? You need to understand why you put a piece in a certain place in the opening, and what happens if you don't. Right? And the same with any opening kind of. So I would want to touch upon certain things which you should know when you're opening a game and why you need to do it. Okay? So that's precisely what I'm going to do in the next 20 minutes. Give you an idea and maybe touch upon one or two openings to see why certain thing is done in a certain way and what happens if you don't. Right? And that's what we're going to do in the class. Right? So the general thing when you play a game is this is all opening phase of all chess games are basically played in the center. Center means e4, e5, e4, e5. Right? So these four squares are the most important squares when you start a game. Right? So these squares have to be controlled. And the best way to do it is put your pawns there. Right? So the general idea is you start a game either playing e4 or playing d4, either pushing your pawn to e4 or pushing your pawn to d4. Right? And each of them have a different way the game proceeds. And each of them have different openings. There are at least 11 openings which are very commonly played. We would try to touch base on all of them and see at least what happens in that, what can happen, and what should be done. Right? So, as a beginner, most people usually play e4. This is the most common move where we start off. The idea is basically making sure you get your chess is basically when there are different kinds of pieces. You have pawns, you have the king, then you have something called a minor piece. Minor pieces are usually knights and bishops, and the major pieces are the rooks and the queen. Okay? And the queen is anyway the important piece. Okay? So you generally develop your minor pieces first, then you castle, and then get your queen out so that the both rooks are connected. This you want to do the first 15 moves of any game, right? And the best thing you have to do is make sure you put your pieces on the right square from where they can either attack or defend your pieces or your opponent. And never take your queen out quickly because most times they're not. When the queen goes out, it gets trapped. Okay? So you got to be very careful not to take your queen out too early. There are some openings where the queen comes out, but ideally, I would not advise you to play any of those openings because you need a better understanding, and that's very important. So the opening phase of any game is called preparation. Right? We call opening preparation because you prepare the lines, the variations, and for everything, what is a reply, best reply you can do is something you keep playing up more and more and more. With more games, you start to understand why you need to do certain things at that point in time. Right? So that's basically about the opening. Middle game is all about getting an initiative where you open the pieces in the opening you put your pieces on certain square, and in the middle game you try to take it to a better square from there, where you do your second development. The first development is what the opening is. The second development is moving a piece to an attacking square and trying to get an initiative from where you either get a material or get a better position, you get space, or you get a checkmate, or anything which happens in the middle game. And then you look for tactics. So in chess, in the middle game, you either get a tactics or you use a strategy. Right? There are two things there. Right? So we'll go into what are strategies, what are tactics. Tactics is doing something where you're able to gain an initiative or gain a piece or do something using 16 different techniques, right? The 16 different techniques in the tactics which you use are pins. Okay, I know everybody know what a pin is, right? Does everybody know what a pin is? You can just show a thumbs up if you know what a pin is. Good. Aryaman, you know what a pin is? Good. And then you have a fork. Okay, you have pins, you have fork, you have double attack, you have double check, you have a skewer, you have X-ray attack, you have, then you use techniques which is called deception, and then you use something called as decoy, then you use something called as overload, and there are 16 different techniques which you use in the middle game to gain an advantage or initiative, right? So that's basically on the middle game. Strategy is when you have a dry position and you create something to get a tactics into place. And the last and most important phase of any game is endgame. And that's why endgame is called as a study. You need to study endgames and understand, right? So the idea is this. You should know basic mates, you should know pawnless mates, you should know king and pawn endings, rook and pawn endings, and you have to know all kind of, you have to have a database of at least 200 basic endgame positions, which you should know by heart, which is anything which comes on that pattern, you should know how to handle it. The reason why I'm saying that is when you're playing a game, when you're playing a tournament, when you get into the endgame position, even when you're playing a G25 game or a G60 game, when you get into an endgame, most times than not, you have very less time on your clock and you don't have time to think and you have to play impulsively. To do that, if you don't know where to put your pieces or how to handle that situation, most times than not, you would have a good position, but just because you did not have a time and did not know what to do, might end up losing the game or ending in a draw. All right. So this happens very often. So at your level, you have to know certain end games. Like I think everybody knows how to mate with a queen, right? Yeah. You know how to mate with a rook.
Yes.
You know how to mate with two bishops.
But I know
Yeah.
how to mate with two bishops and a knight. I know how to mate
No.
with one bishop and two knights.
You know how to mate with one bishop and one knight.
No.
I know how to kill the queen with the knight.
One bishop.
No, one knight and a bishop. You
I-
want to learn how to mate?
Capture.
You want to learn how to mate with a knight and a bishop?
I
You
know
want
the
me to?
position for two knights.
Okay, I'm asking you, do you know how to mate with one knight and a bishop?
No.
No. You want to start there or you want me to start with the opening? I'll give you a choice.
Start there. I wanna-
All right. Do let's do this. All right. So we're going to learn one of the most trickiest endings, but a very interesting one.
I can make
All right. So it is not a check. It's not an easy checkmate, right? So just have to listen to the whole sequence. I will run through the whole sequence and I will anyway send you the video. You can watch it more and more times, how much ever time you want. Make sure that you've understood the whole thing. Mating with a bishop and knight is more tricky because a lot of top grandmasters have found it hard to do it on the board. Simple reason being, you have 50 moves to give a checkmate, right? So because there are no pawns and a piece to be captured, so the 50 move rule comes into play. And if you're not able to do it in 50 moves, the game ends in a draw. And one bad knight move can put you back by at least 2 to 3 moves. So you should know how to do this, right? So when you're betting with a bishop and knight, right? So this is the first thing you got to understand. You can give a checkmate only in a corner which is the color of your bishop, which means since you have a light square bishop, you have to give a checkmate either on h1 or on a8. Okay, these are the only two squares you can give a checkmate. You can't give it in a wrong corner.
Oh,
Okay,
now
so
I know the mating position. Now I know
okay.
the
Okay. Listen. I'm going to mute you. I'm going to mute everybody, right? So, yeah. Okay. So the whole point is this. I want you to listen, understand. It's a little tricky because you have to drive the king from one end of the board to the other end of the board. And it takes a sequence of moves in a certain pattern. And you have to understand the pattern. It's all about understanding patterns. So what do? You have a bishop which is a light square bishop. You have a knight which can control the other squares. So you use the knight and your king to control the dark squares, and you use the bishop to control the light squares. So the king and knight will work together, stay close to each other, and drive the king from h8 into a8 to give a checkmate. You have to force the king to move from one end of the board to the other end of the board, and you use a perfect symmetric pattern. You basically repeating the same pattern, but you would do it. Okay, so the first thing you do is go knight f7 with a check, driving the king out of the corner, and it is forced. The only move on the board is king g8. Correct? So now I need to drive your king out of that square, which I can't do right now, because all light squares will be controlled only by the bishop and not by the knight. So a knight h6 check is not the right move to play. Right? So what do? You just play a waiting. A move, which is called a tempo move or a waiting move. You make a move on the same square or diagonal or a file, or depending on what piece. To make sure opponent moves his piece away from the square you want him to move, then you put your bishop here. So now the king cannot go back to this corner. Basically, you have made sure the king is moved out of that corner. And you get into the most critical position, first critical position in this game, which is you see the knight sandwiched between the two kings, and the bishop controlling the square towards the wrong corner. Right? I would call that a wrong corner because h8 is where you can't give a checkmate. So this is the first critical position, because if you have got to this position, then it means you are on the right track. Right? The idea is simple. The knight will be on the same color square as the bishop on the next last but one rank or file of the king. Right? So it can be either on the G file, either on the B file, either on the second rank or on the seventh rank. But it will be on the same color square as the bishop. That's the only way you can control the other color squares. Right? So the king goes E8. So now the knight's journey starts. Right? So the most important thing is this position will occur when the kings are here, and also occur when the kings are here. Right? So this is something you have to know. So which means the knight will have to be not only here, but also here and here. Yeah? This is the most important thing. You have to know where your knight has to go, because every wrong knight move will set you back by 3 to 4 moves. Right? And if you keep doing 3 or 4 contiguous bad moves, right, then the king would ideally run away to the center, and then you have to start all over again. Right? So this is the most important thing. All right? You have understood so far? No client doubt? Okay, good. So the next move is the king goes to E8. So now your knight needs to go to D7. So what do? You go knight E5. So now the king can either go to D8 or go to F8. So what we will first see what happens if it goes to F8. So the king goes to F8. Now you go knight D7. The king is forced to go to E8. You go E6. King is forced to go to D8. You move your king to D6. The king will always be close to the knight. And when the king goes E8, now you go bishop G6 and drive the king. So the same position, it was here, it has repeated when it is here. Correct? And what has happened? The knight from here, from F7 went to E5, and from E5 went to D7. So the knight goes in a pattern, the bishop moves in a pattern, and the king goes in a pattern. Right? So now knight goes to C5, because the knight has to go to B7, right? And then the king goes here. Now you can't go to B7 for the simple reason the king would capture. So now what do? Play a waiting. your bishop here. Make sure that you stay on this diagonal. And when the king comes back to d8, go knight b7. King goes to c8, you go c6. The king is forced to go to b8, you go b6. When the king goes to c8, go bishop e6, driving the king. So what have you done? You moved your knight. You moved your knight from f7 to e5 to d7 to c5 to b7. You moved the knight in a shape of a W. So this technique of using the knight and bishop to give a checkmate, using this technique is called the W maneuver. You maneuver the knight in a shape or move the knight in a shape of a W. So it's called the W technique or the W maneuver. And this is the most important. You have to understand that you have to move the knight in this pattern to drive the king to the corner. So what happens? Once you've gone here, right? Now you have to go into a mating pattern. So how do you go to a mating pattern? You have to visualize a bit. The king would be on a8. You will give a check with the bishop on the long diagonal h1 to a8 diagonal. And your knight has to control the b8 square. So the easy way to do it is once you have driven the king from one corner to the other corner, the easy way to do it is move the knight back to the square it moved from. So I would put it back to c5. And when the king goes here, I would play a waiting move. If I go knight a6, it's a stalemate. So I will not do that, but I will move the bishop one square, wait for the king to come here. Now I go knight a6 check. The king goes to a8. I go bishop check. And get it? Everybody? Sure? Okay. So I would just go back a few moves. Here we saw what happens if the king went to f8. Okay. We saw what happens when the king goes to f8. What happens if the king goes to d8? Now the king is wanting to run. All right. And what do you have to do? You have to get your knight to d7. Can you put your knight to d7 now? No. You go d7, it will get captured. So what do? The king will always support the knight. So what do? I move my king to e6. The king goes to c7. I want my knight to go to d7, so I still do that. And the king goes to c6. Now the king is wanting to run, right? So this is the most important thing when you're using a bishop and knight in any game. Right? So even though the bishop and knight move in a very different way, they also complement each other or help each other, that they can work together. Right? They can still work together and become a lethal combination. So what you is you try to build a wall, you build a boundary. How do you do that? You put the bishop on the same color square as the knight, on a same rank or file, right? A file or a rank. If you can have it on the same color square, what it ideally does is, see that the king is supporting the knight. So the opponent king can't come to d6 or d5, can't go to c5 or b6 because of the knight, and it can't go to b5 because of the bishop. So what you've done, you've basically built a wall around the opponent's king, and you're forcing the king to go back. Even though it looks like in this position the king is trying to run away, all you do is put the bishop and knight on the same rank of 5 and say, oopsie, no, gotta go back, can't run. What happens? It goes back. And now what you do, you make sure that even goes back. Since you can't go to d5, you go on the same diagonal, you go to e4 and do the same. So now the king goes here, I can go here, and when the king goes here, I will make sure this position which we had in the previous position comes back again. So the king goes here, I move my knight here, and when the king goes here, I do the same pattern. I go king here, and when the king goes to a7, I go king c7. What I do, the reason why I'm going king c7 is, I know that the knight, after going to b5, b7, will have to come back to c5, and this king has to come to b6. We know the pattern because we have already seen. So what I do, since a6 is already controlled, I go king c7, forcing the king to go to a8, and then I go b6, forcing the king to go to b8, and now I make sure we don't run away. I control this diagonal. Now I want all of you to write the next 3 moves. This is white to play mate in 3. We saw this when we did the mate few minutes back. If you want to see if you can remember it, just write down on the chat white to play mate in 3. Make sure you don't do a stalemate. If you found the mate in 3, you can just write it.
The second one that I wrote is the right one.
Okay, cool. Good. Ishan, have you done?
I only see Aryaman's in my chat.
Okay, good.
Got the mate.
Good. Can you just write it, please, on the chat? Raghav, have you found it? Doesn't matter if you have not found it. Okay, so fine. You can find it, good. Else, still fine. Doesn't matter.
It's actually the first one for me, not the second one. The first one.
Okay, okay, okay. Ishan done?
Yes.
Raghav, close? Getting it? No?
No.
Okay, no problem. So you have to move your bishop on the same diagonal. You have to play a waiting move. You can move the bishop anywhere from d7 to h3. You can't go to c8. Okay? Other than c8, if you can move the bishop anywhere, whatever you move is right. Force the king to go to b8. Now you go knight a6 check. When the king goes to a8, you go bishop c6 and give a checkmate. Yeah?
Yeah.
I want you to watch this video again. Make sure that you put it on the board, maybe write a score sheet. Okay, I can do that too. But make sure that you do that, right? So you would be able to see the score sheet, right? You can actually note it down if you want after the class, the video. Put it on the board and make sure that you understood, right? When the king goes to d8, which is the hardest part, and when the king goes to f8, which is the easiest part, right? So I would ideally want you to do both. Practice it so that when you come for class tomorrow, if you have any doubts or if you think that something which is not being discussed or somewhere you can think that the opponent can escape, you can put it on the board, you can discuss and learn, make sure you know how to do this. Even though it's a little hard, still you can remember the pattern. Chess is all about understanding pattern. You can move the pieces on the right square, move it in the right way. I think everything else becomes, yeah. Good, everybody? Any
Yeah.
doubts? Anything you want to ask? Any doubts? Sure. All three of you?
Coach Jacob, you want to go to move number 1 here so they know where to start
Position.
from?
Right. So this is
Perfect. So this would be your opening. I mean, the recording is
Starting
going to
position.
be sent to all of you, but your initial position or starting position should be what you're seeing on the screen. So set up the king on, white king on f6, knight on e5, bishop on e4, and then keep the black king on h8. See what it takes for you to go to the checkmate. And then watch this recording. I'll be sending this recording this afternoon or tomorrow. Watch this recording so that becomes easier for you to go step by step.
I would try and send a couple of small assignments for you to look up and work on. All right. Just a couple of questions for you to look it up and work on. All right. Easy ones. I just want you to make sure that you've understood something, and that's basically it. Right. Yeah. So, yeah, Balaji, yours.
Okay. So let's hear from each and every one of you. What is it you learned today, and how is that you're going to be applying to what you're going to be doing? We will start from Ishan. Ishan, tell something what you learned today and how you are planning to use it when their position arises.
I learned about knight and bishop checkmates. I could use it in a position to help me in chess tournaments.
Very good, very good, very good. So what's your goal, Ishan, for this year? What kind of rating you would like to achieve from where you are now? Ishan, are you able to hear me?
Yes. I don't have a goal for rating.
Okay, that's fine. Let's hear from Raghav. Raghav, what did you learn today? And how are you planning to apply this in your chess games and chess tournaments?
I learned knight and bishop checkmates.
Excellent, excellent. And
And
then, go ahead.
I would use it like the same way in my chessboard with my dad and
Very good. So one of the suggestion, Raghav, for you, especially this afternoon, if you have some time, go over the positions, what we learned in the class today, set up the positions at home. You have a chessboard at home, Raghav?
Yeah.
Okay, set up the positions at home so you become very comfortable. So when you come in tomorrow morning, it becomes easier, okay?
okay.
Okay, Ariman, it's your turn.
So I learned bishop and knight checkmates today, and I could apply that in normal chess games and
Yeah.
tournaments.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so we are going to stop here for today. Please log in at the same time tomorrow. You can log in 5 minutes earlier. It's perfectly fine. I'll be sending you the recording and the assignments for you to do today. So please do it at home before you come in for tomorrow's session. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Coach Jacob, for the camp. Excellent. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Have a good day, guys. Bye.